from pain programs incorporate Eastern and Western knowledge to provide information on health, nutrition, exercise, stress reduction, and energy medicine. They are designed to further the understanding of the mind-body connection and the improvement of general health. The information contained in this video is not a recommendation for therapy for any particular illness. For optimal health benefits, please consult your physician.
Years ago, this last August, I was 7.5 months pregnant with my fourth child. I carried him very low, and at breakfast one morning, I dropped the newspaper, and I bent over like this to pick it up, and in the process, I felt like a hot poker was stuck into my hip. And from that moment to this, the pain has not stopped.
And, you know, pain in itself is enough to drive most people out of their mind. If it doesn't go away, if it just stays and stays and you can't get rid of it, and you go to chiropractors and orthopedic surgeons and just tons of doctors and nobody gives you any answers, they just want to run tests, they don't do you any good at all, really.
I spent a lot of money and been x-rayed numerous times by over 20 doctors. And one doctor recommended surgery eventually if other things didn't help.
I spent a month in Johns Hopkins Hospital. I've had acupuncture without the benefits of the rest of Dr. Tong's program. I have had drug therapy. I spent 12 years going to chiropractors, nutritional programs, and along the way, the stress of all this pain has gone on to affect my various other organs. Earlier this year, I was diagnosed as having a dysfunctional liver and gallbladder and pancreas and et cetera, et cetera.
That he needs. I have a lot of success and results from his treatments. I did not get them before. The treatments I received before, I had all kinds of physical therapy. I had treatments with needles in me, but it was something for the nerve. I didn't know exactly what, but they were electrical needles hooked up. I went to different nerve specialists. I went to biofeedback, and I went through all of this, and then they suggested I could have an operation, but they wouldn't give me over a 5% chance of any results from the operation. And this was an orthopedic specialist. I had a neurosurgeon. They said the same thing, that I was going to have to just live with it with medication from the rest of my life. That it wouldn't get any better, not even with surgery.
Billions of dollars are spent on treatments for injuries resulting from accidents, work, and athletic activities. Conventional drugs and surgery deal with the symptoms and complications, but not the underlying cause of the problem. They often cause more harm than good. Physical therapy, chiropractics, and similar manipulative procedures are less invasive, but most of the time not strong enough to effect a rapid, full recovery. As a result, besides the enormous costs of the therapies, billions of dollars are wasted on prolonged disability and loss of time and wages. In this video, we shall demonstrate how Dr. Tong's neurobioenergetic treatment can effectively control the pain and discomfort from injuries, promote rapid healing, and restore the disabled to full functional capacity.
February of 1981, I was in a car accident, and it hurt my back, all the lumbar area, the disc area, the cervical area, and I had headaches from then on constantly every day. And I had pain, and from that developed in the years now, in the last 12 years that I've had this, arthritis has developed all up and down the cervical and the spine, and I have constant pain in my back and constant headaches continually until I come to Dr. Tong.
I have a bunch of discs in my, bunch of vertebrae in my neck that are deformed, and they put pressure on nerves and caused a whole bunch of problems. To add to that, I've had several car accidents. I hurt my back at work lifting, and as a result, I ended up in pretty much constant pain.
Just prior to the surgery, I was beginning to drag my foot, and I was taking 24 to 30 Excedrin a day just to keep the pain down to a tolerable level so that I could run my household, work for my husband, and take care of my 4 children. After the surgery, I no longer dragged my foot. However, the pain was still there, and my doctor told me I had nerve damage, and there wasn't anything I could do with it. I had to learn to live with it, and that a lot of it was in my head, which I really appreciated hearing, since he wasn't either in my head or in my body.
The medication I was taking was Demerol Vistrol, and when I was in the hospital was every 3.5 to 4 hours. And then when I was out of the hospital, I took Tylenol 4 and Tygan, and to take the place of that. And then about 3 or 4 times a month, I have to go into the emergency rooms and have the Demerol and Vistrol. And I never got really rid of a complete headache or my back pain until I come to Dr. Tong.
Despite my deformity in my neck, which I was born with, that really didn't affect me until I was in a car accident when I was 20 years old. I led an extremely active life, and when I was 20 and I was in that car accident, I went to a chiropractor and he x-rayed my neck, and that's when I realized that I had this deformity.
Had my first treatment a week ago yesterday. I've had 5 treatments in the last week, and I'm a different person today. I have more energy, the pain is less, and for the first time in 27 years, I feel like there is hope.
The first treatment gave me relief for 3 or 4 weeks there that I didn't have to have anymore.
When I started going to Dr. Tong with the first treatments, I noticed an improvement almost right away, a pretty dramatic improvement. I would say after probably maybe 5 or 6 treatments, the pain and the depression were just minimal. I mean, I was a new person after, I would say, 6 treatments. I was starting to do things that I hadn't done in a long time.
Before I came to Dr. Tong, I was taking Demerol Vistrol injections 3 or 4 times a week. I was also taking, combined with that, the Tylenol 4 and the Tygan at home for the pain. And I was not able to sleep. I did not get 3 hours of sleep at night. I didn't know what a solid hour of sleep was. After going to Dr. Tong and after his first injections, I slept, I'm sure, for 3 days without any pain, and I didn't have to have any in the daytime. I didn't have to have any injection. I didn't have any Demerol. I didn't have to have any Tygan. I didn't have to have any Tylenol 4.
Since I've had these treatments, I'm doing things like I was doing when I was in my 20s. I'm a different person. I have energy that I haven't had in years. I'd gotten to the point where a couple hours of any kind of physical activity and I had to go to bed. I was just tired, and now I can go out and work 10, 12 hours. And I'm tired, but I mean, anybody would be tired. And I'm leading a normal life again.
And when I come to him, it's always relief instantly with me. He told me that I might have to wait for relief and not get it all at once, but I have gotten more results. It's the only thing that has given me any relief. And after moving to Arizona, I don't have as good a results because I cannot come every week to Dr. Tong. Now, I'll go to an osteopath occasionally in Arizona, and when I went to him, he would tell me it's time to go back to California to Dr. Tong, because this osteopath is a well-known osteopath in Arizona, and he says that you can tell all the difference in the world in me after having a treatment with Dr. Tong, that it shows immediate results. And he can't give that to me because he's not qualified for it.